starseed from Gaia, you have mastered a new power, and the Arcturian High Council confirms that your energy can no longer be controlled by the old patterns. I am Lirenne, channeling the Arcturian High Council from here on Gaia. By the end of this transmission, you'll understand exactly how to unlock starseed potential. But here's the first revelation: your power is not something you need to receive. It is something you have finally learned to direct. You didn't arrive at this message by mistake. Your soul called this in because your mission is activating now. This isn't just a message, it's a point of reconnection. Like this transmission to signal to your star family, I'm ready. Subscribe if your mission is activating and comment 9999 if you feel your cosmic remembrance returning. The Arcturian confirmation has arrived. You are more powerful than you know. You are not here by accident. Some transmissions don't come through words, but through frequency. If something stirred within you just now, the starseed recognition map and the awakening phases are being released completely free of charge for a limited time only. No payment, no catch, but this free access window will close soon. The link is in somewhere down below in the comments, and as you remain here, notice what is happening beneath the surface. The part of you that has spent years questioning your strength may be encountering a deeper truth. Power was never absent from you. It was buried beneath adaptation. It was hidden beneath the identities you created to survive environments that could not recognize your sensitivity, your perception, or the unusual way your consciousness processes reality. You learned to read the room before anyone spoke. You felt the emotional weather change before the storm became visible. You sensed when a smile was covering grief, when a promise carried no intention of being kept, and when a place no longer held the frequency of your becoming. These abilities may have made childhood, relationships, or ordinary environments feel overwhelming, but they were never meaningless burdens. They were instruments waiting to be understood. Many starseeds do not remain disconnected because they lack ability. They remain disconnected because their nervous system learned to associate their true power with danger. At some point, being perceptive may have made you feel exposed. Being different may have made you feel isolated. Speaking what you sensed may have brought judgment, dismissal, or rejection. So your energy field began to soften its signal. You learned to become smaller, quieter, more explainable. You translated your inner knowing into doubt so that others would feel more comfortable around you. You may have apologized for needing solitude. You may have questioned yourself after noticing something others refuse to acknowledge. You may have become an expert at appearing fine while an entire universe moved inside you. This is how disconnection often begins. Not with the loss of the gift, but with the habit of hiding it. The soul remains awake while the personality learns to dim the windows, but the signal did not disappear, it moved deeper. Like a star concealed behind clouds, your original frequency continued to shine beyond the reach of temporary circumstances. Your multidimensional awareness continued collecting information through dreams, sensations, sudden knowing, emotional impressions, and synchronistic encounters. You may have called it intuition, imagination, coincidence, or overthinking. Yet beneath those labels, a more precise intelligence was operating. Your field was receiving data from layers of reality that the ordinary mind had not been trained to interpret. A repeated number, a phrase heard from a stranger, a dream that returns after many years, or an unexpected encounter can become a doorway into recognition. You do not have to force meaning onto every event. Discernment is part of awakening, but you can begin to notice what expands you, what settles you, and what leaves your inner world quietly illuminated. The soul often speaks in patterns rather than commands. This is why your path may have felt delayed. You were not simply waiting for an opportunity. You were undergoing recalibration. The identity built for Earth had to become spacious enough to carry the frequency of the soul that entered this life with a greater assignment. That process can feel like confusion because the old self is losing authority before the new self has fully stabilized. It is like moving from a narrow room into open land. At first, the horizon may feel disorienting. The walls that once gave you a sense of identity are gone, but the landscape has not yet become familiar. You may mistake this spaciousness for emptiness. You may wonder why the old goals no longer motivate you, why former pleasures feel distant, or why your future seems hidden behind mist. This does not mean you have lost direction. It means you are learning to navigate without the old limitations. There are moments when a starseed can sense that something greater is moving through them, but they still ask permission to trust it. They wait for a perfect sign. They seek confirmation from people who cannot feel the architecture of their inner world. They compare their awakening to someone else's timeline and assume that silence means failure. But your activation has never been designed to look ordinary. You were not meant to receive every answer at once. The gradual unveiling protected your human identity while your deeper capacities were coming online. Even the seed beneath the soil must remain hidden while roots are forming. If it were pulled into the light too soon, the fragile beginning could be damaged. In the same way, some of your gifts were sheltered during seasons when you were still learning emotional stability, self-respect, and discernment. The delay was not rejection from the universe, it was preparation. Arcturian wisdom speaks often of harmonic readiness. A frequency cannot be sustained merely because it is desired. The vessel must be prepared to hold it without distortion. This is why certain doors closed. This is why particular relationships became unbearable. This is why particular relationships became unbearable. This is why familiar ambitions began to feel strangely empty. Your field was separating from patterns that could no longer carry the next expression of your consciousness. You were not losing yourself. You were losing the versions of yourself that had been organized around disconnection. The first shift is recognizing the distortion without becoming ashamed of it. Notice where you still believe that power means control, dominance, perfection, or constant certainty. Those are earth-based imprints that often confuse force with influence. Your true power is more refined. It is the capacity to remain present without abandoning your knowing. It is the ability to hold a frequency so steadily that confusion begins to organize around it. It is the courage to respond from alignment rather than from the reflexes created by fear. Look gently at the moments when you betray your own perception to keep peace. Notice the places where you ask everyone else what you should already know within yourself. You are not being asked to become rigid or to reject advice. You are being asked to stop making other people the final authority over your inner life. A grounded soul can receive wisdom from others without surrendering discernment. When your power returns, it may not arrive as dramatic energy. It may feel like a quiet refusal to betray yourself. It may appear as a boundary you finally keep, a truth you finally speak, or a direction you stop postponing. It may feel like no longer needing to prove that your experience is valid. The higher frequencies do not always announce themselves through intensity. Often, they enter as peace where panic used to live. You may wake one morning and realize that the old trigger no longer commands your body. You may choose not to answer the message that once pulled you into chaos. You may feel no need to argue with someone committed to misunderstanding you. These moments can seem small to the outside world, yet they reveal an enormous restoration of authority. The quietest victory is sometimes the one that changes your entire future. The next shift is to understand that your energy field remembers more than your conscious mind can explain. Memory is not limited to images from another world or detailed scenes from another lifetime. Sometimes memory arrives as recognition, a certain symbol, sound, constellation, geometric pattern, or unfamiliar idea creates an immediate sense of returning. You are not necessarily being asked to construct a story around that feeling. You are being invited to notice what frequency it awakens within you. Perhaps you have always felt drawn to the night sky, sacred geometry, ancient temples, crystalline forms, or the language of vibration. Perhaps a place you have never visited feels strangely familiar. Perhaps you have encountered an idea and felt not that you were learning it, but that you were remembering it. Let these impressions remain invitations rather than demands. You do not need to build an identity around every recognition. The deepest remembrance makes you more humble, more compassionate, and more present. Your body is part of this recognition system. The tightening in your chest when you move away from your path. The expansion in your breath when you hear something true. The sudden warmth in your hands when you make a clear decision. These can become points of communication between your human awareness and your higher template. You do not need to dramatize every sensation, but you also do not need to dismiss every signal. The body often knows that a timeline has changed before the mind can describe what happened. This is why rest may be essential during your awakening. Integration is not inactivity. It is the process through which expanded awareness becomes usable in ordinary life. When your field receives more information than your current patterns can organize, you may experience fatigue, emotional fluctuations, unusual dreams, or a desire for solitude. Rather than treating yourself as broken, begin asking what your system is attempting to integrate. Your sensitivity requires stewardship. Your power becomes clearer when your body feels safe enough to host it. Drink water, move slowly, spend time in natural light. Let your feet touch the ground. Reduce the noise that constantly pulls your attention outward. A nervous system that has lived in vigilance cannot immediately interpret expansion as safety. Give it evidence through gentle routines, honest rest, nourishing food, and relationships where you do not have to perform. Grounding does not lower your frequency. It gives that frequency a place to land. The third shift is separating your galactic identity from the need to escape Earth. You did not come here to reject the physical world. You came to bring a higher pattern into it. The mission is not to remain in a permanent state of longing for another dimension. The mission is to translate expanded consciousness into choices, relationships, work, creativity, and service. A starseed who is always looking upward may miss the exact location where the activation is meant to occur. Your higher self is not asking you to abandon your life. It is asking you to become more present within it. Wash the dish with awareness. Have the difficult conversation with clarity. Care for your body as though it is a living instrument. Choose environments that do not require you to deactivate your perception. The ordinary becomes multidimensional when consciousness is fully present inside it. Your power is not proven by how far you can travel beyond the body. It is revealed by how much truth you can embody while remaining grounded. The fourth shift is learning to recognize energetic leakage. Every time you say yes while your entire field is saying no, energy leaves through the fracture between your truth and your behavior. Every time you perform a version of yourself to secure approval, your signal becomes divided. Every time you obsess over whether others understand your path, you hand portions of your authority to their perception. Energetic leakage can feel like exhaustion after certain conversations, resentment after repeated favors, or a strange heaviness after spending time in environments where you cannot be honest. These sensations are not invitations to judge others. They are information about exchange. Ask whether the connection is reciprocal, whether your compassion is freely given, and whether you are confusing being needed with being loved. This does not mean you must isolate yourself or become emotionally unavailable. It means you begin to choose conscious exchange. You can love people without allowing them to define your direction. You can listen without absorbing every belief. You can remain compassionate without becoming a storage system for everyone else's unresolved emotions. The Arcturian frequency is often described as precise, clear, and coherent. Coherence does not mean that you never feel conflicted. It means you learn to bring your thoughts, emotions, body, and actions into an honest relationship. When these layers stop pulling against one another, your presence becomes magnetic, not because you are trying to attract attention, but because your energy is no longer scattered. The fifth shift is accepting that your new power will change your relationship with timing. In the old pattern, you may have believed that nothing was happening unless there was visible movement, but the most important changes often begin in invisible space. A belief dissolves, a fear loses its charge, a choice becomes easier. A person who once held power over your emotions no longer has the same access. These are timeline shifts, even when no external event has confirmed them yet. Do not underestimate the significance of internal completion. When your consciousness no longer needs an old lesson to repeat itself, the outer pattern begins to reorganize. This can make life feel unusually quiet before it becomes visibly different. The quiet is not emptiness. It is the space in which the next configuration is assembling. There are seeds germinating in darkness that will eventually become forests. There are decisions forming in silence that will later redirect an entire life. Do not demand that every sacred process provide immediate evidence. Sometimes the universe is not withholding an answer, it is strengthening your capacity to recognize the answer when it arrives. The sixth shift is to let your power become useful. Activation that remains only as an identity can become another form of separation. You are not here merely to know that you are different. You are here to transform what your difference makes possible. Perhaps you create, teach, protect, build, heal, organize, question, invent, or bring emotional clarity into places that have forgotten how to listen. Your mission may not resemble the images you once had of a cosmic assignment. It may be expressed through simple, consistent acts that change the frequency of every space you enter. A powerful person does not need to announce power. They become trustworthy with it. Ask yourself what becomes more possible when you stop treating your sensitivity as a weakness. What conversations become available? What work begins to call you? What kind of relationship can you now choose? What patterns can end with you? These questions bring your awakening out of abstraction and into embodiment. The seventh shift is surrendering the need to remember everything before you begin. Starseeds often wait for complete certainty because they assume that the mission will become clear all at once. But remembrance is usually layered. First comes a feeling, then a pattern, then a repeated invitation, then a decision. Each action taken in alignment unlocks the next piece of information. You do not need the entire star map to take the next honest step. You only need enough clarity to stop walking in the direction that continually drains your life force. You need enough courage to follow the quiet impulse that returns again and again. You need enough self-respect to recognize that confusion is not always a sign to stop. Sometimes it is evidence that your old navigation system is no longer receiving a signal. This is where many awakenings become real. Not when a person discovers a special name for their soul, but when they begin to live as though their inner truth has consequences. Your frequency is not separate from your decisions. Every choice either strengthens the bridge between your higher self and your daily life, or reinforces the distance. And there is something else you are beginning to understand. The power you mastered may not be the power to predict every event. It may be the power to remain sovereign when events do not unfold according to expectation. It may be the power to feel deeply without being consumed. The power to see through illusion without losing tenderness. The power to walk away without hatred. The power to begin again without needing the past to apologize first. This is mastery in a higher sense, not mastery over people, circumstances, or outcomes, but mastery of the signal you bring into every encounter. Your presence has been refined through everything you thought was taking you away from yourself. The loneliness taught you to hear what noise had concealed. The endings taught you to distinguish attachment from resonance. The delays taught you patience with the architecture of your own becoming. The moments of powerlessness revealed where you had given your authority away. Nothing was wasted. Every experience became material for the frequency you are now carrying. You may have believed that your strength would arrive when you no longer felt fear, but strength arrived each time you moved with truth while fear was still present. You may have believed that awakening meant becoming untouched by pain, but awakening has shown you how to feel pain without allowing it to rewrite your identity. You may have expected a sudden transformation into someone entirely new. Instead, you are discovering that transformation is the return of what was always present beneath the conditioning. Your higher self is not asking you to become extraordinary in the eyes of the world. It is asking you to become undivided within yourself. There is a point in every activation when the seeker must stop asking, "Am I really powerful?" and begin asking, "What will I do with the power I already carry?" That question changes everything. It moves you from fascination into responsibility, from waiting into participation, from receiving signs into becoming one. Your energy will speak before your explanations do. People may feel calmer around you, challenged by you, or suddenly unable to maintain an illusion in your presence. Do not make this a reason to inflate yourself. Let it be a reminder to remain clear. You are not here to control another person's process. You are here to maintain your own integrity so consistently that the field around you receives permission to become more honest. The new power is not a weapon. It is a frequency of coherence. Tonight, or whenever you feel the need to reconnect, place one hand over your heart and one over your lower abdomen. Breathe slowly and allow your awareness to settle into the body. Then say, with no performance and no need to force an experience, I release the identities that taught me to fear my own light. I welcome the wisdom that is ready to return. I use my power with clarity, compassion, and grounded intention. I am present in this life, and I allow my higher frequency to serve through me. Do not worry if you feel nothing dramatic. The activation may be quiet because it is moving into a deeper layer. You may notice a decision becoming obvious tomorrow. You may experience a dream that reveals an emotional pattern. You may suddenly recognize why a certain chapter had to end. Trust the subtle movement. The most enduring changes are often the ones that do not need to convince you. Here is the truth. Your higher self has been guiding you toward. You were never waiting to become powerful. You were learning how to stop abandoning the power that was already moving through you. The years of disconnection were not proof that you had failed your mission. They were the training ground where you learned the difference between force and alignment, between performance and presence, between borrowed identity and embodied knowing. You had to experience what it felt like to live without access to your full signal, so that you could recognize the sacred precision of its return. You are not being given a power that belongs to someone else. You are recovering the capacity to direct your own consciousness. This is why old fears are surfacing now. They are not necessarily predicting danger. They are revealing the final places where your field still believes visibility is unsafe. This is why people in situations that once controlled your emotions may be appearing in a new light. Your perception is changing. This is why you may feel less interested in explaining yourself. Your energy is becoming more complete within itself. The world does not need another person who has memorized the language of awakening while remaining disconnected from their own life. It needs people who can embody expanded awareness in the way they speak, choose, create, repair, and love. It needs your grounded discernment. It needs your refusal to confuse intensity with truth. It needs the intelligence you gained through surviving what no longer defines you. The Arcturian current, the star lineage you feel within you, the higher architecture of your soul. These are not invitations to place your authority somewhere far away. They are reminders that consciousness is larger than the narrow identity you were handed. Let that remembrance bring you closer to yourself, not farther from your humanity. You are allowed to be uncertain and still be guided. You are allowed to be tired and still be transforming. You are allowed to need support and still be powerful. You are allowed to move slowly while your timeline changes beneath you. There is no requirement to perform an awakening for anyone. Your next level will not ask you to become louder. It will ask you to become truer. When you honor the truth in your body, your energy begins to gather. When your energy gathers, your choices become cleaner. When your choices become cleaner, your timeline responds. And when your timeline responds, the life that once seemed impossible begins to feel like the natural result of no longer betraying your own frequency. So take this with you. You are not too sensitive for this world. You are learning how to become precise within it. You are not too different to belong. You are learning where true resonance lives. You are not late. You are arriving with the exact depth required for the path ahead. The power has already been mastered. Now comes the quieter, more important work of using it without fear, without ego, and without apology. Before you scroll, take a moment to be part of what's forming here. Drop one intention in the comments, something real. Then respond to someone else's with encouragement or energy. This isn't content, it's collective alignment. Energy multiplies when intention connects. If something in this message resonated, don't keep it to yourself. Someone in your orbit is waiting for this exact activation. Share it. And if you felt a soul nudge, subscribe. Stay in the flow. You're not just watching, you're expanding. This is your space, and we're just getting started.